Well, the AL dominated for the 8th straight year.
Yeah, it's getting to be kind of commonplace these
Uh,
days.
even though
Boring.
Chris Bryan couldn't take a groove fastball over the fence to blow the game open to take
So
a
he's a
1-run lead.
failure. So he's a failure if he doesn't hit a home run. This, by the way, folks, this references a text message you sent me in the moment of the game last night where Chris Bryant
I
failed to get a hit in with the apparently he should have had a grand slam to make you happy with
well,
the
I mean,
bases loaded.
it was a groove fastball. I mean, he's a
He hit the
professional hitter.
yeah. I mean he hit it and there
He
was a
hit
good
it.
play.
Yeah,
Good play made in the outfield.
he hit it. He hit it right where unfortunately where a person was standing, pretty
Yeah.
much. So, who took a very strange path to the ball that made it look like it was a more amazing play than it even was.
That
But
every all-star on the field was marveling at, every announcer was marveling at. So
well, Joe Buck did point out he normally isn't in the outfield, so he had a little bit of a struggle with the play. Joe
he
Buck
did
did
struggle.
point that out after the commercial break. So anyhow,
But we digress
I
early.
digress
I think this whole
early.
episode might be a huge digression, so we'll
The,
find out what's going on. We're doing this on a Wednesday night, which is kind of odd for us. So
we
we're
wanted to
gonna
come. We're coming fresh from the All Star stuff
yeah,
before, mainly because of me, folks, so I don't forget anything.
that's all
So
right. I'm gonna forget a lot tonight, so don't worry
yeah,
about it.
the All Star game was
Yeah, what'd
also.
you think? Was
I mean, it was.
I thought
It
it was
was.
okay. It wasn't
I,
great. It wasn't
I'm not.
terrible.
I'm not a fan of most All Star games. Most
I
I don't like the Pro Bowl. I don't like the
yeah
basketball All Star game. I
yeah.
don't like hockey anymore. Like now they've just made the rules super strange. I think like All Star games to me, like I guess you have to have them, but I didn't really miss it not having it last year.
Oh, I guess I agree with you. Except I would say of
I like the other events around it. I don't like
yeah,
the game itself.
but if you're comparing sports and all-star games, I think Major League Baseball has the best because
I would agree
you
with
see a
that.
real game. I mean, with hockey is usually
Yeah.
20 goals scored. With basketball, there's no
Yeah.
defense played. Fucking Pro Bowl. Nobody even watches the Pro Bowl anymore, do they? But I don't
I
remember the
th-
last time I watched a Pro Bowl.
yeah, the problem with all those sports is there's much more
Yeah.
physicality in
No,
those
yeah, there's
sports.
reasons. Yeah, there's
So
legit
they all
reasons
just
for it.
no one plays defensive in any of those games, and there's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
But
why I think MLB the All-Star game is just inherently going to be better. I didn't think this one was fantastic. It was cool, but it wasn't didn't blow my mind. There's been better All-Star games, I guess.
yeah, viewership was really low on the All Star game again, which of course is the opposite of another event we'll talk about
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about
shortly.
the home run derby, but
But yeah, but there were fun moments. I think one of
mostly around the White Sox actually, I think.
my favorite moment was Liam Hendriks being mic'd up, and
That was the moment. The
I
moments.
I think they didn't even know, like, because of his accent, that he dropped an F-bomb right on the air there, and no dump button or anything, and they just rolled with it. I don't know if they didn't pick up that he said it
There's
or
a lot
what.
there's a lot to dissect there with the whole Liam thing. First of all, earlier in the game, I was making the joke to you and on Twitter, like why they didn't mic up Lance Lynn because
Yeah,
I was sure he'd be swearing, slapdick motherfuckering everyone that came up. Like I don't know how angry he would be in an exhibition game, but he didn't look.
he just looked like, all right, I got
He
my
just
inning in.
he
I
just
mean,
looks like Lance Lynn. He's got pissed off face most of the time, but
well,
not as bad as normal, I guess. But
yeah, and he was a little annoyed that he wasn't starting, seen
yeah, exactly. And he,
as
he brought that up before the game too, didn't he?
yeah, I mean, he has the best ERA in the AL and has pitched 30 more innings than Shohei Ohtani, who I wasn't watching as a pitcher under a microscope, but now that it's been brought to my attention, it's kind of a joke of him as a starting pitcher. He never pitches more than 5 innings.
Well, I mean, the issue is this is a marketing event, and Lance Lynn is his angry face is not the face of baseball. Shohei Ohtani's
Exactly,
is right now. So
which Lynn also pointed out. He
yeah,
said, I also understand why Shohei Ohtani would be
yeah,
starting the
and that's
game.
cool.
versus the best versus someone with better statistics. But both him and Rodon have better
Yeah.
statistics than Ohtani,
And
really, in the grand scheme of things.
and
But
Rodon doesn't even get in the fucking game, which is just
I
brutal.
think that
But
was by design.
yeah, just to save the arm or what,
Yeah, not to
or to
put
spite the
anything.
Sox.
Well, I mean, is it spite the Sox because TA didn't get in at bat in the game? I mean, Twitter blew up about that. That one.
Kevin, to his credit, Kevin Cash said he felt sick about it. I mean, he was in the on deck circle to come up at the end of the game, but it didn't work out. But he played defense for 2 innings, so it's not like he was completely overlooked. But
I
yeah,
know.
it sucks. It
I
does
didn't.
suck.
I also though didn't think it was like the end of the world. Sure, he was coming in on a 12-game hitting streak and tearing the shit out of the ball. So, but I mean, he's also there because of something we'll get to later in the broadcast. Certain people didn't show up, so
Well, yeah,
so that's
but
how he ended up
but
there ultimately.
I think you're right. The highlight was Liam Hendriks, and there's so much happening there where he's swearing his face off, mainly because I think he felt like unshackled because he didn't think the microphone was working, and so
Yeah, because he
and
couldn't hear them in
he,
the earpiece.
yeah, so he first he let a goddamn fly,
Yeah,
then like I think three pitches or three batters later, he's letting the goddamn fuck this shit
yeah.
fly.
Yeah, because he couldn't get he lost. He got the first strikeout on the slider, then couldn't get the feel back for it.
Right. The weird thing is, and I don't fault Liam. I mean, I love it. That's so cool that he's fucking swearing it during the All-Star game. We get to all hear it. I mean, this is what Major League A-holes is all about. But how Fox couldn't figure out that he didn't know that he had a live mic, and
Just let it go. Yeah, just roll with it, baby.
they'd never shut off his mic. I almost think it's kind of like entrapment almost. Like, isn't there some illegalities with like recording someone and not aware of it? Like, he had no idea that he was actually going out live. And he even said to the catcher at one point, like, the catcher was warning, "Hey, be careful! Don't say too much because your mic's on." He's like, "No, it hasn't even worked the whole time because I can't hear anything." So it was obvious to everyone, but apparently the Fox producer, that Liam was not unaware. So I don't know. I think that might be my favorite part. Just hearing some swearing, as juvenile as that is. I love it.
I loved the exchange too, and it was Zunino came out,
Yeah,
and he said, "Well, what do you want to do here?" After he like kind of warned him or whatever, and he said, "What do you want?" And it was just, I can't even paraphrase. Well, I can paraphrase. I can't say exactly what Liam said, but it was to the point of like, I can't throw the slider because it's either some vulgarities in there, but basically like it's shit for me right now. I can't throw the slider. So basically it's like he's just going to pepper the last batter with fastballs. And Zunino's like, well, just give the people what they want then.
Well, and it was like one pitch and that was the end of the game. Like,
right.
It clearly worked.
Yeah.
So.
Just throw like 99-mile-an-hour fastball to the inside, just jam them and get out of the game. All right, game over.
It worked out. The other thing that worked out is Liam had the pass ball, like spiked the ball about 58 feet.
Oh my God, that was crazy.
Happened to bounce directly back to the catcher so could throw out the runner from first to second. Like that was, I've rarely seen a play like that, especially with a catcher that I don't believe. I mean, how familiar could he be with a backstop at Coors Field? Like it just bounced back perfectly.
I mean, that was video game like that. Yeah. That scene was that was video game like, as well as freaking Vlad Jr.'s home run.
Yeah, that was another fun moment.